それでは引き続きまして、
And next, we'd like to ask our president to talk about the education reforms at Tokyo Institute of Technology.
学長よろしくお願いします。
Dr. Mishima, please.
And now, please allow me to introduce Tokyo Institute of Technology President, Dr. Yoshinao Mishima, who will present a lecture titled Education Reforms at Tokyo Institute of Technology.
Well, thank you very much for the introduction, Professor Nohara. In the past 5 years, the demands for improving the quality of the education in the Japanese universities has grown rapidly. They say that the Japanese university education system seems to be out of date as compared to the world top universities. And as a result, a university has failed to cultivate talented and motivated youngsters who can work globally in highly competitive society. They also say that the Japanese universities are poorly evaluated in the world university rankings, such as in Times Higher Education rankings. Keeping such circumstances in mind, I would like to introduce our current effort on reforming the education of Tokyo Tech. The effort was initiated in October 2012 when I was inaugurated as a president, and the movement has been speedy and smooth, though not always, as you know. And the new curriculum and the education system will launch in 2 years from now, which is April 2016. Okay, here's a outline of my talk, and I have 4 topics. And first, about Tokyo Tech's current education system, and then I like to clarify the mission of Tokyo Tech, and then necessity for the education reform. And then I go into the new education system itself, and finally, I explain the expected result by the reformation. This is the overview of Tokyo Tech education system and education. But from the beginning, the Tokyo Tech is founded in 1881, which means we have just celebrated the 133-year anniversary 3 years ago. And as of May 1st, 2013, we have about 4,800 undergraduate students, in which only 180 are the foreign students. This is because we don't have fully English courses for undergraduate for 4 years for 124 units. But for graduate students, we have about 1,500, and out of 1,500, 950 are the foreign students. This means in graduate school, we teach English, we offer the English course, and also the education in graduate school is more or less depending on the research. This academic staff is about 1,200, and up to this point, the size of the school is pretty much like MIT. But we only have about 500 administrative staff, which is a very small number as compared to the MIT. Tokyo Tech's World University Rankings, Professor Grimson touched about this point, but this QS World University Ranking 2013 and 2014 is overall 66, also engineering and technology 42nd, and overall 66, and the rest is 4th in Japan. And for the Times Higher Education Ranking 2013, overall is 125th, in the engineering, 58th. And these are both are the 3rd in Japan. Our competitors in Japanese universities is the University of Tokyo who is ranked about 23rd in Times Higher Education ranking, and Kyoto University as something like a 56th. And also the Osaka University is a competitor, and they are located in 144th. Many Asian universities are ranked higher than Japanese universities. That also mentioned by Professor Grimson. This is the structure of undergraduate schools and graduate schools. We have 3 schools in undergraduate. I'm sorry. We have 3 schools in undergraduate level and 6 schools in graduate level. And this is pretty much different in the system of the United States universities, because undergraduate school and graduate schools are, as far as the structure is concerned, it's independent. And the numbers shown on this blue character is number of department per school. So we have about 23 departments in undergraduate schools, but we have 45 departments in the graduate school. So structure of the graduate school is more complicated and fractionated. And they are so complicated, and the vision of each department is not easily be visible for students just by looking at the name of the department. Well, this is the structure of the education system at Tokyo Tech. And then I go for the vision of Tokyo Tech and the necessity for the education reform. This is the mission of Tokyo Tech I defined, and the ultimate goal is to contribute to the development of a new and vibrant society by producing graduates with a broad understanding of science and technology, with both the ability and the determination to take on leading roles in society, also by creating and supporting innovative science and technology that will lead to sustainable social development. And through these, toward this mission, near future goal is aiming to become one of the world's top 10 research university by 2030, which is not easy at all. But since we are celebrating 150 years anniversary in 2030, so I set the goal like this. In order to achieve this type of goal, or this ultimate goal, we have to make a great contribution to society through education, research, and international activities. Today we are talking about education reform. If you look at the education, then the Tokyo Tech is putting emphasis on producing master's degree graduates who will thrive in the global society. And also we are producing doctoral degree graduates who will become the world top level researchers and leaders. And this is one of the characteristics of the Tokyo Tech, because about 90% of the undergraduate students just going up to the graduate school of Tokyo Tech, which is pretty much different from the case in the United States. So far, in this sense, the mobility of the student is very low, but by having education reform from now, we like to nurture the student who is willing to go abroad after finishing the undergraduate school. Okay, the problem and necessity for the education reform is here. The current Tokyo Tech education system, the lack of quality of education, problem is a quality education has not been the main goal or focus. As a result, students primarily focus on earning credit for graduation, and also students lack a sense of mission to develop professional skills, to set goals that contribute to society, and to cooperate in a diverse global society. Then what we should do? We should educate the student with a passion for lifelong, and in order to do so, we need to have a systematic and well-defined curricula with high-quality syllabi, and to need to provide student diverse and flexible learning processes, and need to employ effective teaching method for students' active participation in classes and labs. Well, what the new education system would be. After I was inaugurated as a president, I established the Education Reform Committee directly under the president. And this committee has discussed about the design of the education reform after having over 50 meetings in a year. And we presented this kind of plan to faculty members occasionally through Dean's meeting and or educational and research council. And we had a campus meeting last year, May, and also the one in the end of December to show all the plans to all the members of the Tokyo Tech. And through these efforts, these 3 pillars of education reform was approved by the Board of Directors on September 6th last year. Here's the pillars of education reform. The first one is build a new education system of a world-class technological university. The content is to create a new system in which undergraduate and graduate schools are joined, revitalize the curricula and lectures, and make them globally accessible in order to build the education system of one of the world's top universities. Also, this is important to tune the curricula and lectures to those of other top universities in the world, so that students can easily transfer credit. This being able to transfer credit is very important to increase student mobility. Then, if the transfer credit is approved, then the student go outside Japan, and also we accept more incoming students to Tokyo Tech. Second pillar is Innovate learning. Create extensive and systematically structured curricula to support students in pursuing their goals and interests. Change the fundamental definition of learning from what year a student is in to what and how much knowledge a student gains. Increase the depth of course content and make the evaluation learning more rigorous. Okay, the third pillar is promote ambitious internationalization. Make Tokyo Institute of Technology a central point of interaction for talented individuals from around the world by implementing a globally accessible, top-class education system, and utilize the Institute's strengths as science and technology university to recruit larger number of students from overseas and foster greater student participation in opportunities abroad.